Hi, sixth graders. Today we're going to talk about multiplying fractions, which I will tell you is way easier than adding or subtracting. So we got the hard part done. Okay, so here's the steps for multiplying. And we're going to talk about fractions and mixed numbers because we'll be doing both. In order to multiply fractions and mixed number, each number must be written as a proper or an improper fraction. Okay, I can't multiply mixed number times mixed number unless they're improper, and I'll show you when we do the example. So I don't want you to make that mistake. Mixed numbers must be converted to improper fractions. And whole numbers would be written over 1, so they have to be written as a fraction. In other words, if I had 3.5 times 6, I can't do 3 times 6, okay? So I would do 2 times 3 is 6, plus 1 is 7 over 2 times 6 over 1. That's what I mean by my mixed has to be converted to an improper fraction. Any whole number just goes over 1. Because 6 divided by 1 is 6. Okay? So again, change each mixed number to an improper fraction. That is the most important thing right now. You cannot multiply, I can't just do 3 times 6 and it'd be 18.5, okay? In this step, we're gonna talk about cross-canceling, so we're gonna put that in, and I'll explain that too. Then I multiply numerators, multiply denominators, so I don't have to find anything common. And then I simplify. So the only step that we're going to talk about that you could do sometimes is to cross cancel. And that just means you find factors that work with both across. We'll do that down here. Okay, so on this one, they're already fractions. So I would do 2 times 4 is 8. 3 times 5 is 15. Remember how you never added or subtracted denominators? Well, guess what? You can multiply them. So that is 8/15, so much easier. Okay, 6 times 2 is 12. 7 times 7 is 49. Easy peasy. Okay, here's what I'm talking about when I say cross-cancel common factors or cross-cancel, cross-reduce, whatever you want to call it. I look at these two numbers. Is there a number that can go into 3 and 3 evenly? Well, 3 can, so I divide by that number. 3 divided by 3 is 1. 3 divided by 3 is 1. Then I'm going to look at my other two numbers. Is there a number that goes into 2 and 4 evenly? Well, 2 goes into both of those. So 2 goes into 2 one time. 2 goes into 4 twice. Now when I multiply them out, I do 1 times 1 is 1. My new numerator and new denominator, 1 times 2 is 2. My answer is 1/2. Okay? You can't always cross cancel. If you look at the ones we did up here, nothing went into 5 and 2. Nothing went into 4 and 3. That's why I didn't cross cancel there. Okay? This will get me the lowest terms. If I cross cancel, I'm going to get in lowest terms and I won't have to simplify. Okay? Same thing here. Nothing went into 2 and 7 evenly. No factors, nothing went into 6 and 7 evenly, so I couldn't cross cancel. Okay, so think about like a butterfly. I check these two and I check those two. All right, so on this one, if I look at 6 and 8, what can go into 6 and 8? Well, 2 can. So 2 can, sounds like a bird. 2 can go into 6 and 8. 2 can go into 6, so 6 divided by 2 is 3. 8 divided by 2 is 4. If I look at 3 and 15, 3 can go into both of these. 3 divided by 3 is 1. 15 divided by 3 is 5. Now I multiply across. My new numerators, 1 times 3 is 3. 4 times 5 is 20. And it is already in lowest terms. What happens if I don't cross cancel? Okay, so let's say I had the same problem. 6/15 times 3/8, and I just multiply across. 3 times 6 is 18. Now I got bigger numbers I got to multiply. I'd have to multiply out 8 times 15, which you would have to multiply that out if you don't know that on top of your head is 120. I would have to reduce that monstrosity. So I would have to know what number can go into 18 and 120. In this case, it looks like it's going to be 6, but you might not know that right off the top of your head, so you'd have to do a little bit of dividing, okay? If I divide it by 6, I know 6 goes into 18. I know 6 goes into 12, so 6 has to go into 120. So I would get 3/20. So I'm going to get the same answer. It just takes me more work to get here. This is so much easier. We're going to do a couple more problems in a second too to do more cross canceling. You have to do this, okay? I mean, you can get to the answer this way, but this, I'm telling you, is so much easier. All right, let's do a couple more first, and then we'll go on to the mixed numbers. So if I have 7/20, and I want to multiply it by, what do I want to multiply by? 15, let's say 16ths, okay? I'm going to look at these two. Is there any number that can go into 15 and 20? And I'm going to look at these two. Is there any number that can go into 7 and 16 evenly? Okay. Now, if I look at the 15 and 20, 5 goes into both of these. And again, I don't want to multiply 7 times 15 and 20 times 16. That's just too much work right now. So I would say what goes into 15 and 20? 5 does. 15 divided by 5 is 3. 20 divided by 5 is 4. What about 7 and 16? Nothing goes into 7 and 16 evenly, so I can't cross cancel there. But I made my numbers a little bit easier to multiply. 7 times 3 is going to give me 21. 4 times 16 is going to give me 64. So my answer would be 21/64. Okay? Let's try one more. Let's say I've got 12 over, I'm trying to think of a good number, you guys. 25 times 5 over 6. All right, I don't want to multiply these big numbers out. So I'm going to look at 5 and 25. What can go into 5 and 25? Hopefully we know 5 can, so I divide by 5. 5 divided by 5 is 1. 25 divided by 5 is 5. If I looked at 6 and 12, 6 can go into both of those. So I'm going to divide by 6. 6 divided by 6 is 1. 12 divided by 6 is 2. Now, instead of multiplying 12 times 5, I'm doing 2 times 1. 2 times 1 is 2. 5 times 1 is 5. Okay, so that's how you cross cancel. I'm telling you, it is way easier. Otherwise, I would have had 60 over 150, and I would have to reduce that. Okay, make it really easy. All right, let's talk about a mixed number, because that's the only other thing we need to do, and it's literally one more step. I got to change it to improper. I can't do 2 times 3 and 1/2 times 3/5. That does not work, okay? So I'm going to change them to improper. 2 times 2 is 4 plus 1 is 5 over 2 times 5 times 3 is 15. 15 plus 3 is 18 over 5. I don't know what 5 times 18 is off the top of my head, right? So I'm going to cross reduce if I can. I'm going to look at my 5s. 5 goes into 5. 5 goes into 5 once. 5 goes into 5 once. What about 18 and 2? Well, 2 does. 2 goes into 2 one time. 2 goes into 18 9 times. Now when I multiply it out, I'm going to do 1 times 9 is 9. 1 times 1 is 1. 9 over 1 is just 9. Okay? All right, same thing here. Change it to improper first. Okay, because you can see if I would have done 2 times 3 and got 6, and then 1/2 times 3/5 and got 3/10, that wasn't 6 and 3/10. This is the answer to that. All right, let's do this one. We would do 6 times 4 is 24. 24 plus 5 is 29. 6 times 4 times 1 is 4 plus 1 is 5. fours. All right. So I did 24 plus 5 is 29, 6, 14 and 4, 5 fours. Is there anything that can go into 29 and 4? No, there's not. 29 is a prime number. 4 doesn't go into it, so I'm stuck. What about 5 and 6? Nope. So guess what? I can't cross reduce on this one or cross cancel. So I just got to kind of suck it up and multiply it out. 29 times 5. If I didn't know that, I'm just going to multiply it out. Remember, we can do the distributive property. 5 times 20 is 100. 5 times 9 is 45. 145. I'll show you I get the same answer. 45, carry my 4. 5 times 2 is 10, 14. So I did 5 times 20, 5 times 9. 4 times 6 is 24. Now, I got to put that back to a mixed number. So this one's kind of not the most fun problem to do. So I would have to divide it out. How many 24s would go into 145? So if I did this, think about how many quarters would go into 145. Okay, so there's 4 quarters in a dollar. So probably I'm looking at about 5. So let's try 5. I'm going to say that's about 25. So if I thought about how many quarters go into $1.45, I'd get about 5. 5 times 4 is 20. Carry my 2. 5 times 2 is 10, 12. I end up with 25 left over. So what does that tell me? That I didn't go in enough times. So let's try 6. 6 times 4 is 24. 6 times 2 is 12, 14. I get 144. So I'm really close. I have 1 left over. So this answer would be 6 and 1/24. Okay. So you're not always going to go in the right times, because I estimated and I thought, well, it's going to be around 5 or 6, and it ended up being 6. All right, let's try another mixed number on the back. So let's say I have got 4 and 1/6 times 2 and 2/5. Excuse me. I'm going to change it to improper. 6 times 4 is 24, plus 1 is 25 over 6 times 5 times 2 is 10, plus 2 is 12 over 5. Well, this is going to work out nicely with my cross canceling. All right, I don't want to do 25 times 12, okay? But I do want to cross cancel, cross reduce. 5 and 25. 5 goes into both those numbers, so 5 divided by 5 is 1. 25 divided by 5 is 5. 6 goes into 6 and 12, so I'm going to divide by 6. 6 divided by 6 is 1. 12 divided by 6 is 2. 5 times 2 is 10. 1 times 1 is 1, and that is just 10. So that was a lot easier to do than doing 25 times 12, getting that answer over 30, and then trying to figure out what it was. All right, so that's all there is to multiplying. We're going to do lots of practice with it in class or on homework. If you have any questions, reach out to me and let me know, and I will talk to you soon.